I am greeting you to our best-of compilation of 2022, where we're walking down memory lane and recap the most ridiculous shots, but also sneak in a few new ones. So let's not waste much time for meeting our newest friend on the road. Well, our friend had his license only for a few days so far, and felt for celebrating it with a bill of $6,000 of damage. Checking your shoulder, that's for beginners. Especially with additional lanes, and it's only a matter of time until your negligence will turn out very expensive. That came together to almost $9,000 of pure damage, plus many additional costs for legal fees, replacement car and the like, because the crash driver did not inform their insurance about this. And because there are gonna be plenty of more crashes to come, just a quick message that no people are getting harmed in this episode. But in quite some cases, it's a close one. Yeah, I know bikes are smaller, but size doesn't matter for the obliviousness of people. And you know who else is good at being oblivious? But it's not about how big your ride is for people to miss you. Missing a whole goddamn truck? You should seriously think about what the hell you're actually doing there. Same counts for watching traffic in general. Coming from the left, this here turned out to be a damage of $6,000. Sometimes from the right.
Meine Fresse, du.
Sometimes from behind, and this here was completely wrecking our man's car, and when you're especially lucky, crap comes from ahead. Where are the limits of obliviousness? If not while driving, many people at least lose all caution as soon as the tires stop spinning. And they slam open their door. And when stupidity meets absolute ignorance...
Gott im Himmel nochmal! Ja, dann schau doch verdammt nochmal!
Almost ramming his door into our car and then even getting all pissed? Some very twisted road rage. But sometimes you're just very damn unlucky. Now traffic keeps going. Our man did not recognize this door. From opening the door until hitting it was something around 1.5 seconds. Not enough time for reacting, and the other guy was filed guilty, with a bill of $2,000 to pay. I don't see anything. Let's go anyway. A really smart person in traffic, but that was some good reaction. Just barely missing a hit. But luck is not always there. Watch this. He got rammed by someone leaving a parking space, mows over an island and a sign, and then he just keeps fleeing the scene even though he did not cause the crash. I don't know, smells like skeletons in the closet. Makes this hit and run here almost seem tame.
Oh, nee.
That was the left mirror. Hero of the story is this woman over there, making the accident driver know that he was spotted and make him realize, oh damn, I got witnesses, I better don't run. Such things can turn out very strange. Do you see any approaching car somewhere? Where the hell did this guy come from? But as quickly as he appeared, he also disappeared by quickly driving off. But at least he was caught the same day because he caused $13,000 of damage. Sometimes vehicles like to go like, whee! Ouch! Well, you simply gotta be careful in winter, and sometimes people are ridiculously lucky. Well, just nothing happened here. And also this guy here bought a big bag of luck. He was even able to get out of his misery all by himself. Others are not so lucky. Sometimes it doesn't even need any snow, just a bit of water. This is what can happen when the safety systems of your car are not working. No ABS and no ESP. And sometimes the ground doesn't even need to be wet at all. So how could this turn out then? Well, our man just left a muddy parking spot, and that compromised the grip of his tires. When you are using any kind of a two-wheeler, you should have at least some knowledge about the vehicle you are handling. Maybe it was a beginner, you never know. And while bicycles are not so complex to handle, people can still do beginner mistakes. Running through turns, the faster you are, the more you need to know what you're doing. The guy here simply didn't lean enough for his speed, went out of the turn, hit the brakes as the car approached, and the bike went upright and lost its turning force. The immediate reaction of the car driver alone was what prevented any kind of a hit. The freeway and the issues you need to deal with on it. Yeah, people need to get left as soon as possible. Oh yeah, how much fun it is. Let's increase the fun by increasing the size of the vehicle we need to deal with. There goes the mirror. The truck carried 2 people, who then gave to protocol that our man caused the crash by swerving over to the truck's lane. But as the dashcam footage shows, nothing but a big lie. Without the footage, the camera driver might have been screwed, because 2 people against 1 not turning out very pretty. If you're still driving around without a cam, you go invest 50 to 100 bucks and you are safe. The dangers of illegal passes. And while that guy was at least indeed passing someone, in this case over here, it just seems like that person is living on another planet because he's not passing anyone. And how do such things come to happen? It usually starts some way like this. For oncoming traffic, it then feels like this. At least here, the mistake was recognized in time, but often people will just keep going onto the freeway the wrong way, and then you better go hiding this fan. And imagine you just went to the left lane for passing and some bullet is aiming for you. It would be an insult to call those people a monkey brain. For the monkey. Thick fog and a very bad sight. But sure, overtaking others is the first idea to come to mind. But that's what happens when amoebas start driving. Oh, I can understand him get mad, because who wants to have spilled brain on his windshield? You know what is just as stupid as overtaking in thick fog? Overtaking right before a hilltop. Is it really a matter of being in a hurry, or is it just collective stupidity? In this case here, we have to be waiting until the trams have passed.
Ernsthaft? Meine Güte, was war ihr Hole?
Oh yeah, I said trams. Maybe lights would help? Doesn't seem so. What about lights with gates ready to close? Not much use either. What about lights with gates closing? Well, it doesn't seem to be a solution either. But when the gates are already fully closed, that should hold back people from being the stupid people that we are used to. It seems to me like this train should have been faster. And talking about speed, that is the main element of crotch rockets. And they also like to pass other vehicles stupidly in a turn when they can't see oncoming traffic properly.
Okay. Mach dein Ding. Ich weiß aber nicht mehr, wie lange du es noch schaffst.
Yeah, some bikers like to mess with the Reaper regularly. But one day he will come and get him. And he's coming closer with each trip. We are pretty used to bikers overtaking everybody, but trucks? Sometimes they are forgetting that a truck is not a sports car. Here, one truck is passing two other trucks on an incline and right before a corner. But of course, there's absolutely nothing that could ever go wrong here, I see. Due to their mass, rogue trucks can cause incredible damages. So what this one here is doing close to a bus can be considered a crime. If you look up the word close in a dictionary, there is a picture of this event in there. That doesn't mean, though, that bus drivers can't do any bad decisions. Especially drivers transporting children would have to use a special level of caution. Yeah, children in there. But as far as I am informed, children are not driving those cars, are they? Because adults should understand that you're looking behind yourself when backing up. But people like to fail at this in the weirdest situations. People just drive without attention. Oh damn, I missed my junction. Better get back immediately. 5,000 bucks of damage and 3 months until the other insurance finally paid. This BMW just left the parking spot. Our man enters the same parking spot, but seems to not be fast enough.
Scheiße!
Because the other one seems to be in such a hurry that he rams into us. But how? Mixing up brakes and gas pedal? Oh well, other parking spot and new experience. This driver messed up 3 cars and caused 18,000 bucks of damage. Oi! That is insanity. And what do we want to see after this insanity? More insanity!
Alter! Das gibt's doch wohl nicht!
Well, some people seem to be mistaking the shoulder for their personal lane. This guy here already racing by with 160 kph? This crazy bastard here is flying by with over 200. This is beyond stupid, but even that can still be increased. By passing over the shoulder and doing this right before an exit. Yeah, I will never really understand what is going on with such people. But it doesn't only happen on the freeway.
Jo! Ja, klar!
But crashes on the freeway are usually more severe due to speed. 2.5 times the speed limit. You could argue why to have such a low speed limit on a proper 6-lane freeway. Yeah, you could argue that, but would you do that here? Going 200 in a wet tunnel, WTF. And driving more stupidly leads to a deadlier driving style.
Yeah.
3 times the speed limit in a work zone. In Germany, you pay proper fines for that and lose your license for a few months. But in Switzerland, for example, without a joke, you are being sent to jail for that. Because why wouldn't you? Such a driving actively threatens the lives of everybody on the road. This can very much be considered attempted manslaughter.
Yeah.
But you don't expect them to only race on the freeway, right?
Er fährt bestimmt
This madman was going something around 240 kph. That is 4 times the speed limit. He is very eager to make it to heaven or hell. But it doesn't need to be that ridiculously fast for being very damn dangerous. The guy here is going 110 at a speed limit of 70. Well, also 100 kph can easily kill you when it's way faster than a bending road accounts for. Give it another car turning and this might have been Leon's last ride ever.
Aber wir wollten eine schnelle Meinung haben von euch. Doch schnell hier. SWR3.de.
Another crazy madman. That was very close to a head-on crash. Back to the freeway, our man here is already everything but slow. He doesn't move over to the right lane because another car to be passed is coming up. But there is another car approaching from behind which cannot accept to stay behind us. Great road user, 10 out of 10. It may only be sometimes, but sometimes we have the karma cops. Accelerating the crap out of his ride under a bridge and running that red light, quite the show in front of the law's eyes. While his Porsche driver went for punishment with stupid driving, others tried to prevent fines with stupid driving. Many idiots fail to maintain any speed and then get all shocked when a speed trap shows up.
Jetzt 60 für 7,5 Tonnen. Erst rast du hier wie ein Bekloppter und oh, sag mal.
Almost coming to a full stop, recognizing a speed trap because you lack any ability to check your own speed or the respective signs? Somebody run this guy's license through a shredder, please.
Bist du bescheuert oder was?
And this should be a consideration for this guy here as well.
Spinnt der oder was?
Nobody ever told me that you shouldn't be overtaking before a corner. I guess I'm not stupid enough to ever understand.
Was ist mit dir falsch, ey?
What is more important? Staying healthy or saving 10 seconds? Should you see what is coming? He got pretty surprised by sudden oncoming traffic and lost control. Now imagine the outcome if somebody would have been on this bike lane. And while talking all the time, some of you might be like, shut the f*** up and show us some road rage. Alright, this car ahead is changing lanes while already going the speed limit, and the driver behind doesn't really get held up. No issues visible, right? But that rear driver seems to have a very goddamn different perception of this event. He gets in front and delivers the brake check of doom, slowing the other one down to 65 kph for basically nothing. But idiots are everywhere. Here we are already passing, and some Mercedes from behind is pushing hard. As the camera driver gives an ironic thumbs up, he awoke the demons. This is already pretty disgusting, but it gets a lot worse. We are passing with 90 at a speed limit of 80, and some Mercedes to our right badly wants to go faster, so he passes over the turn lane and makes it clear that he is one of the most disgusting human beings ever. It is so pointless. I want to punch this asshole! The BMW behind us follows with proper distance. Speed limit gets reduced and our man is slowing down without any significant braking. Suddenly, the BMW gets nervous to then get dirty. Jackasses like this one are #1 proof that humanity is nothing but a bunch of animals. The van over there is squeezing in front of this other car. Yes, definitely not a beautiful move, but the retaliation is in a whole other ballpark. As the rear car passes by the van again, the passenger throws a filled beverage can at the van. There go your animals, moving a 1.5 tons bullet around. If these people already have such a short fuse, what would happen if some truly dangerous situation is coming upon them?
Was soll das denn?
Oi, somebody's staying relaxed for a change. Doesn't happen very often.
Bist du bescheuert, du ey!
Very proper reactions of our man there. Right now here, we are being overtaken, so this car driver has to be recognizing us, right? But I remain having a hard time wrapping my head around his actions anyway. He was so lucky that his action didn't end up like this. 12,000 bucks, right there. And another one pushing right inside us. Yes, that was a hit, and that other driver steering into us later insisted that he was in the right. He should have been doing a shoulder check, but that is not everything you need to keep in account. What happens in front of you can change in a microsecond. So distance to others should be a no-brainer. Many people let themselves get fooled over the distance. This year wasn't enough. And it's pretty similar here. And people are always arguing. They can handle the distance, they pay attention, they react quickly, they are so good drivers. But what when you're looking away even for a fraction of a second, like this biker doing a very quick shoulder check? The distance simply disappears and you got a fender bender. It's especially weird when full stops happen when you're not expecting them, like at green lights. Or when there is some sudden braking on the freeway. This truck was running over an obstacle, killed an air pressure line, and trucks without pressure in their braking system mean an uncontrolled full stop. Or like it is in many cases, people just don't pay attention.
Alter, der ist sogar hinten drauf gefahren.
Gladly, not every close one leads to a crash. And it can pretty much happen anywhere. Driving requires constant attention at any moment.
Scheiße!
Oh boy, our man had a brand new car and now he may need a brand new bumper for this one. At least there are moments when cars rarely touch, like when it's all jammed up. But some people just don't care. Emergency corridors are for emergency vehicles only, for a reason. Because when such motherfuckers just take it for themselves or people failing at keeping it unobstructed, respective vehicles can't pass and deliver important help. Here we've got 3 trucks blocking all the lanes, like almost they were intending to. The cops need to get out and try to somehow make those vehicles move. And this is just a squad car. What if a fire truck needs to get through? When they are coming, it's usually very damn critical. When some corridor is there, people abuse it. Over and over and over again.
Sag mal, hat der noch alle Latten am Zaun?
And some disgusting people will even follow an ambulance. I don't know if these paramedics may not have such a critical mission, but it's really nice to see that they are giving this dirtbag a rectal injection. But even when there is no emergency corridor to abuse, people will get creative. Testing those off-road capabilities. I am truly wondering where people are sometimes looking in order to fail so hard at basic exiting. That was like 2 inches. Huh, where's my gas? Oh, there it is.
Meine Güte, du. Hat jetzt den, hast du den gesehen? Ja, ruft er noch aus.
And now it is passing time. When some headlights are approaching, your common driver needs to overtake others. Haven't we learned this yet? Thank you, sir, for endangering my life.
Als falsch herausstellt. Oder was sich im Nachhinein als etwas herausstellt, was du hättest auch anders tun.
But isn't it astounding how still somehow it often works for those numbskulls to not crash?
Oh, leck mich doch am Arsch, ey.
This here can still be considered a big mishap, but what the hell is this insane van driver doing here? Driving this way, I am simply doubting that this guy's brain is functioning normally. And I get the impression it's pretty similar here. This guy keeps completely missing the lanes, flashing at us for no reason, messing up his tires on the curbs. Our man did the right thing and called the cops on this driver, who did manage to track him down rather quickly, and it turned out that he was driving with an alcohol level of 2.6. Somebody not used to drinking may already lay in hospital, and this guy is just casually driving around 40 tons. And be aware that car drivers do the same. Sure thing, this guy was then fleeing the scene. Since his car lost oil and coolant, he didn't get very far and was captured soon. Apparently, he was dragged in front of court because turned out he was not only completely drunk, but didn't have a driving license as well. The authorities were also rather happy about the dashcam footage. Drinking and driving simply does not go together. However, drinking and walking also leads to weird stuff. Is he pretending to be a shaman or something? He might be on an adventurous mission to find his shoe. Maybe he thinks we stole it! Let's better get rid of the booze and over to good old-fashioned obliviousness. Yeah, priority to right fail. Some of those accidents are just very weird and unnecessary. Pretty often it's just lacking concentration or attention. And in quite many cases, impatience is a big factor for vehicles colliding. And sometimes, I've got no idea. What kind of a hardcore fail was that? As I said, I have no idea. And another possibility is people being very stubborn in the most unhealthy fashion. We are entering a work zone where trucks are prohibited to use the left lane because it's goddamn narrow. But this truck driver is very determined and badly wants to push past the pickup we are in. While also the camera driver doesn't even want to move a slight bit to the right. The aftermath is 50,000 bucks of damage, which were absolutely pointless to happen. Two stubborn people bumping heads until somebody is crying. And being stubborn might also be a reason when people for real are on the freeway with a bicycle. In Germany, this is highly prohibited, and even in countries where it's not. Oh, you shouldn't do that. It's very damn dangerous. Same counts for better not riding through car tunnels. Other unhealthy actions with a bike could be something like doing a stoppie on the curb. Ha ha! Also, riding with backs on the handlebar could be turning out to be not so pleasant. Cycling does go with some hazards, even when it's not about drivers trying to kill them. At least the cyclist was not distracted, like it does happen way too often with car drivers. And what is the utility of choice? The phone! Doing this in traffic is very dangerous, but even away from traffic, it won't end up nicely for you. Just leaving the house, quickly entering the address in Google Maps, and... Well, quite the fail. At least here, there was no danger, but when doing this in traffic, you may end up taking a detour to the bank. Or unintentionally playing chicken with a truck. Sure thing, that WhatsApp message was definitely more important than your life. Or in this case, risking other lives.
Alter.
It happens all the time, but it shouldn't.
Alter, Junge! Gott.
If you're fiddling around with the phone too often, you'll become a pedestrian. Yeah, smartphones, the bane of the modern world. You may want to get rid of it, but better not by having someone else run over it. Many of those recent clips may have been a situation with distraction, but we haven't been in those cars, so we never know. Because it can also be a matter of fatigue and microsleep.
Alter!
Oh, I guess our man was sweating profusely. That was certainly a matter of unintentional issues, but traffic is full of actions where some ridiculous bullshit is happening because of nothing but people's short fuses. This guy here cuts us off badly and receives a well-deserved honk. What does your common caveman needs to do then? Delivering a real proper felony in form of a hard brake check. Or this one here. Our man honks a little bit and this ape immediately needs to get out and mark his territory. Which is only natural. Apparently people with expensive cars are more important than others. So how dare you not treating him like your king? Same story here. A short flash switches this guy into serious complaining mode. Here, this guy behind us is pushing hard, which is why the camera is honking slightly when he then passes us. Of course, he needs to stop right there for making clear that he is the superior life form over us and demands our acknowledgement. With a poor attempt of trying to ram us. What the hell is going on in such people's heads? But we've got something like a happy ending to offer with this. It was totally legit. To honk at this asshole for endangering us and then retaliating with a brake check is a crime. Literally. Our man filed a report on this dirtbag, and the ridiculous part is, the other guy filed the same report against our man. This disgusting waste of air did actually believe that the camera driver is the bad guy. But the authorities didn't eat his bullshit, and this scumbag had to deal with a serious fine and a long time walking. F*** you.
Ja, locker bleiben, ist gut, ist Raum.
Most important detail, nobody was hurt, just the car having a few scratches, and the bike, well, the bike may need a few days in a spa for getting back into shape. Even though the cyclist had no insurance at all and the driver needed to deal with the financial issues, some metal can be replaced or discarded, but health and life is not so easily replaceable, so this accident here still can be considered to have a very good outcome. However, some crazy bikers could not so much count on a good outcome if they were crashing, pulling off their stupid stunts. I don't know what it is with motorbikers and taking such ridiculous risks. I am also a motorbiker and I would like to stay alive and healthy. Such a riding here is not a good way to achieve this. Those people may not have a perception that everything can turn around 180 degrees within the glimpse of an eye and life suddenly changes or is over.
Oh, ist ja krass.
Oh no, we are entering a freeway. It is so hard to deal with those acceleration lanes. In this case here, it's the camera driver delivering a fail. Of course, such a thing shouldn't happen. The cars didn't touch and our man apologizes. But apparently, we've got another monkey on the road. Dude, what is this? I don't know, but let's hope that exit lanes are easier to handle. There goes his hubcap. The driving quality of many people has a constant risk of disintegration on a whole different level. Like when somebody obliviously forces himself into the lane of a truck.
Hey!
I don't know, I have a hard time processing this. I have severe questions how some people are in any way able to survive in traffic.
Bitte 7 Kilometer dem Straßenverlauf folgen.
What will the professionals rather do? Simply back up on the freeway. Nah, it'll be fine. So many possibilities in traffic for drivers to mess up.
Alter, was ist denn?
I didn't know. The turning around is apparently that hard.
Boah, Junge!
And doing it in front of cops for good measure. And talking about cops, people often tend to get back into fetus state when they see any blue lights approaching.
Magazin. 5:47, 13 Minuten bis 6. Was steht an heute?
Heute vor 60 Jahren hat der Bau der Berliner
Guck mal, da wieder aussieht, du blöde.
And some things are just like... This emergency doctor gets a call and needs to turn around ASAP. But your common idiot driver doesn't acknowledge the importance of this vehicle. Or maybe he was just mesmerized so much by what he saw that he just forgot the brakes. However, even emergency vehicles on call need to not endanger people when necessarily bypassing traffic rules.
Die mit dem Schwarzen an, da fährst du rechts, so rüber.
Well, that was too fast along the intersection. But also, cops are just people and messing up sometimes. In this situation here, it's not really clear what his intentions are. Is he active on a silent call, or does he just really badly need to get to the toilet? We will never know. I just hope he isn't racing this madly, because he would be an asshole driver in a squad car. That was a majesty. It is your fault to be on their road. They were not in the lane of oncoming traffic. You were, without permission, obstructing their royal road. I have the slight impression that those people were watching too many superhero movies. It is an incredible feat of luck that only the mirror got killed, because look at how little space was left there. Unbelievable.
Was war das denn?
That was a taxi bro failing at a double lane turn. Apparently, this is so very hard. A quick little hit and 6,000 bucks of damage. We are on a little truck tour in Sweden, and we are meeting every truck driver's nemesis. Nah, not the red car is the nemesis, it's the blind spot. With being very attentive about your mirrors, you can analyze this front right corner of your truck, but it does remain the potentially worst spot anybody could hide in. There is a reason why these kinds of accidents keep happening. You should always spend as little time as possible on the right side of a truck's cabin, because even when the crash is not your fault, you don't want to mess with a heavyweight specialist. And it's just the same with cyclist versus car.
Was zum Henker? Sie können doch nicht einfach über die Straße laufen. Alter Schwede.
It is so very hard to turn your head to the right side, isn't it? We got a wet road. Just the perfect circumstances for exceeding the speed limit.
Ja, 20 km/h zu schnell, aber wen interessiert, Alter? Du siehst, dass ich da komme.
Yes, the other one did mess up, but so did the camera driver, because people are not prepared for somebody approaching way faster than normal. How do people fail so much at checking both directions? Both cars did not hit each other, but the wheel of our car was pushed against the curb. first, the other person went on driving like nothing ever happened, but could get motivated to stop after all. Another reason where the camera driver would have been screwed without a dashcam. Because if the other person just denying any mistakes, how would you prove otherwise? Because the rim damage turned out to be a rather expensive ordeal. This cyclist here has taken a good look, but going anyway. But it certainly isn't always the cyclist's fault. Well, are we fortunate? There is a hospital, and there are cops. I guess we would be in good hands. And another unfortunate cyclist. Cars have mirrors and people have eyes. This should be a very effective combination. This cyclist here wants to legally cross the road. But watch out for teenagers on bikes. I guess this kid doesn't know how lucky it was. Speed limit is 50, and if the driver would have been going 50, this would have turned out to be very damn nasty. I can't decide if this situation here is a matter of obliviousness or ignorance. Why is this guy so angry? He could barely save this kid from getting run over. This driver failed on a very dangerous level. But it can also be the other way around. What are you supposed to do as a car driver when the view is obstructed? Good to know that there are car drivers being attentive and having great reactions.
Alter, eine Radkappe.
Some vehicles are suddenly disintegrating on the freeway, like this trailer here setting free one of its wheels. Sometimes car wheels coming off. And some things are a little more unusual, like this roof box not being able to withstand the air pressure when the driver simply went too fast. And when such car parts have a bad day, they are out for blood. You're not expecting that, are you? Almost as surprising as a piece of vicious furniture fighting back. Some objects are less vicious and are more of the sneaky kind.
Alter!
Ha! Trash can. Some of them don't like being used for garbage, and they are starting to come for you or your ride. And it's proud of the damage of $4,000 it cost. I am free! Ow, it hurts!
I am free too!
A whole tree on the road is really bad, but even only little pieces of trees are nothing to laugh about. Somebody was yeeting a big-ass stick just over to the road. Pretty lucky that it only hit the roof and not went through the windshield. And sometimes objects throw themselves onto cars. This was very unfortunate, but this here is just plain reckless. What is going on? This unbelievable idiot is basically driving blind, going on the road with a totally frozen windshield. But also a clear windshield will not hold back people from showing their inabilities. This camera driver was stating that he was totally concentrated on that car to the right and... Oh, that hurt. This here seemingly shows a case of distraction and... caused this truck driver to give his tire a really good beating on that curb. And the problem with that often is that no damages are visible, while the tire has severely suffered, which might cause it to give up on life at some point, like we can perfectly see here. Look at this distance. And by how much that car was sliding, this was definitely also a case of really bad tires. The speed! Here we got issues with roundabouts. But honestly, multi-lane roundabouts are an invention of the devil. It is not surprising that people f*** up in there. However, with single-lane ones, it's the driver's fault. Especially when he doesn't have his right foot under control. When you're having a little too much fun with rear-wheel drive. This lesson cost Dave $1,800. And you know who else got rear drive? Bikes! Yeah, the drive had nothing to do with this clip. But what if a vehicle has no drive at all? Somebody forgot their handbrake. Our man then pulled the handbrake so this car wouldn't go on any more joyrides all by itself. When the roads are jammed, it's great when you have a sidewalk. This guy got no sidewalk and apparently no brain either.
Ist der dumm?
Oncoming traffic or blind corners? Why would you not pass in such cases? What the hell is supposed to happen? People are getting very creative with this. Like creating a new passing lane out of thin air. But sometimes their spontaneous passing lane doesn't work out like they were hoping it would. I don't think he was intending to take a turn. But high speed is not required for showing off big fails. That bumper looks like a sheet of paper. It did kinda hurt to look at this, but there is quite some additional pain in the pipe. This guy first hits another car and then seems to lack any control over his jag. And those people are on the road with you. Yeah, and that driver just went away. Our man and his buddy then managed the whole situation and went out for having the store call the owner. A damaged bumper can already turn very expensive, and a hit and run like this will cost the offender something like a whole month's paycheck and a half year of walking. Not that nasty, but very unfortunate. Dogs can normally be kept under control. It isn't so easy though with other drivers. Oh, 2 more inches and a hit. Sometimes you just gotta be like, what? Similar situation here. We are approaching an intersection, the lights are off, and signs clearly say that we've got right of way. And sometimes people messing up that hard are denied a happy ending.
Was? Was? Hat er gerade einen Unfall?
Cars are screwed, but no injuries. Also, you can easily cause crashes when you run the corners too fast. Yeah, it's cyclist passing time again.
Du dummes Stück Sch...
Some people just have masterful ideas.
Ja, was soll das denn?
Amoebas at the wheel, I keep saying it. But even when they have clear sight, a proper view is no good if you're a stupid ass f***. The ignorance is over 9,000. Another possibility for accidents, because people often don't realize, is that right-of-way counts for the entire road, even when that car is on the wrong side for a few seconds. Which is why you always need to check both sides when entering a road and be aware of passing cars. But of course, passing right before another street remains oblivious and in more severe cases, ignorant and dangerous. Uh-oh, check out this trailer. Oh, he was still pretty lucky. Maybe nothing did even break. I'm wondering what is worse, losing control with a trailer or losing the whole damn trailer altogether. But keep in mind that not only motor vehicles have trailers. If there would have been a kid in this trailer, it would have had the ride of its life. Remember, obstructed view is bad for everyone. And when the view is not obstructed, it's simply shitty driving. Overtaking anybody on a pedestrian crossing is illegal here. But if there is any kind of a crossing or not, kiddos sometimes run in front of cars because they simply don't have the traffic experience. It's about time we get a pedestrian license, otherwise you stay in that goddamn house! And this would not just be a thing that kids need, oh no. And this guy here would very much not keep his license for long.
Genau. Ich sag ja, total behämmert.
The world is full of crazy people. Here our man honks at the cyclist because he doesn't use the bike lane, but he passes with proper distance. I don't know, the cyclist does either have a bad personality or a bad day, because he's now throwing insults at the camera driver. At the next light, he's back and the entertainment keeps coming.
Für Sie gilt ein Radweg, auch wenn da ein Schild dran ist.
Nein, das wird nicht.
Doch, da steht ein Schild dran. Da steht ein Schild dran. Okay, Garmin, Video aufzeichnen. Schau mal hier, das ist eine Nötigung. Schau mal da, das ist eine Nötigung. Ja?
Why do such situations need to boil up to this ridiculous road rage? I am asking you guys, just let those people cycle around. They are often not on the bike lanes because they are not made for high speed. And evil curbs and bumps are usually to be expected, which is not only uncomfortable, but could damage the bike. Don't be so very German and complain about everything even when somebody is not pedantically following the rules. Live and let live. Because especially if you never ride bikes yourself, do you know how f***ing loud your horn is from the outside? This spot there doesn't look like a car would fit through, but you can't be sure unless you try. And another close call in orange. I think our man should have been approaching slower, but still this worker can't just open up that door right into fully moving traffic. Teenagers should be taught how to give proper hand signals with the bike. Because this tiny motion was barely visible and happened way too close to our car.
So ein Schuss oder was, Mann, ey? Mach mal die Augen auf!
Using your eyes while driving isn't the worst advice, you know?
Boah, bist du bescheuert?
Just a little bit. But by all this complaining, we gotta keep in mind, while in particular countries, people seem like they are basically aiming for crashes, This video contains many examples where people show great reactions and protected the well-being of a lame brain.
Boah, meine Fresse.
Even though not every quick reaction is the right reaction. When animals jump on the road from the right, it would be better if he would not swerve to the left. There might be a surprise box of steel. And even when no crash happens, other things can happen. This car approaching when our man was dodging the rabbit, then turned around and went for an interception.
What the okay.
Passing us and slowing us down to then mess around with the camera driver even though he was explaining what was happening. What is he intending to do with a photo of our license plate? Get to the police station and be like, "He was threatening to kill me! Send a SWAT team!" Hello, mirror. Goodbye, mirror.
Yeah.
Here it's a little more than a mirror. Nobody knows what was happening, but this guy kept going like nothing ever happened. Oh, it sucks hard when you want to dodge, but there are goddamn vehicles everywhere. Same crap here. No, this biker doesn't have the safest riding style to show. Same story for him. What was the plan? Overtaking in the blind corner or turning in a very stupid way? In any case, turning seems to be incredibly tough for many people. Almost as tough as following those freaking lines! And we saw another great reaction. And one more to come, even though it may not be as obvious at first glance. A one-way road, but cyclists are allowed to go both directions. Somebody doesn't think so.
Fahrradfahrer frei. Lernen Sie Auto fahren.
And who didn't know the rules? The driving instructor. But despite that little fail, I don't think a driving instructor would pull off such a stunt.
Oh! Alter!
And most certainly not such a one.
Bist du bescheuert oder was? Du hast doch nicht mehr alle!
Driving and sleeping at the same time? Sure, why not? The deeper the sleep, the more relaxing it is.
Die einen haben so ein Gameboy und der andere hat wirklich so ein riesen Rechenzentrum zur Verfügung. So ist das technisch.
Oh, watch the door. And watch the big-ass door. Okay, guys. I think nobody can complain now that this episode wasn't long enough. But even if you still got a desire for watching more, there is your playlist. Why not try out some older episodes? They're just as good. And more good ones to come, so that hopefully we get another crazy best-of in 12 months. Until then, be careful and don't let those idiots kill you out there.